Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers' best bet or daily package for only $2.
Are we live? All right. Sorry, guys. I didn't know we were live here. Welcome to another edition of Stoppage Time. I am Carmine Bianco of WagerTalk.com. With that little delay, I'm just kind of staring at the screen kind of look. With me today, we're going to discuss 4 games happening in domestic league as Champions League takes 1 week off and returns next week. With me from Sports Memo, Pavlos, Laguretos, and from WagerTalk.com, Nick Borrman and Kevin Dolan. Let's bring them in. Kev, let's start with you right off the bat, man, because you are our featured capper today on site at WagerTalk, the $2 Tuesday guy. How you doing, my friend?
Yeah, all good. Carmine 3-1 night last night, so keeping it going. And it's just, I don't know whether I got some luck on St. Patrick's Day or what, eating me Lucky Charms, but it has been a sensational run since then. So looking to keep it up tonight with that $2 play.
Awesome. Just don't toss any of those petrol bricks at Nick. Nick Borrman, what's going on, my friend? 5% play up for you today in soccer action. And I believe you had a 5% winner last night as well in the NHL. How are you doing?
Yeah, I did. That was only my third one of the year, so happy to cash that. Coming off a good weekend, I had a shit day on Saturday, but then rebounded big time on Sunday, including a 10-1 parlay. So that was fun. So it was a great day on Sunday, trying to roll over this week. I just got my ticket, my first futures ticket in for the Super League. You know, I took the outright winner there. So I'm happy to have that play and that ticket. I'm going to hold that for 4 years. But looking forward to talking soccer with you guys.
Yeah, I'm going to get into that Super League before we talk about the first game, but let's bring in the man himself from Sports Memo, Pavlos Laguretos. I'm not really sure what country he's in today, but hopefully his Wi-Fi is working. How are you doing, my friend?
Wi-Fi has been great. I'm doing great, guys. Thanks for asking. I have a 5% up. It's a soccer prop for tomorrow. Goes live tomorrow. I have a 5-1 lifetime in 5% soccer props and 33 and 13 in 4% and 5% soccer props combined. So it's been great with props in my career. So yeah, I have a 3-pack for today and a 5% for tomorrow.
Awesome. Great to know. These are the games we're going to cover today. We're going to cover a couple games that go today: Chelsea, Brighton, the Bayern Munich, Bayer Leverkusen game. Then we'll cover Tottenham, Southampton, and Dortmund, Union Berlin, a couple games that go tomorrow. Before we get to the first game, I'm going to give you my quick thoughts on all this garbage going on in Europe with this Super League. It's absolutely ridiculous in my sense, in my opinion, whether it's the president of Real Madrid and Juventus and whoever else is involved in this. It is an absolute money grab for teams to get them more games, which teams have complained about. I understand the pandemic hurt a lot of teams and they're badly in debt, but to basically segregate a bunch of fans from teams out of a competition that you can only get into if you're one of the elite ones is absolutely horrible. It's something that the soccer world and the football world, let's call it, does not need. And UEFA and FIFA, if they go ahead and ban these teams from playing in their competitions and ban the players from playing for their national teams in the World Cup, it would serve them right. It's something that's not needed. I get it. Champions League needs to redoing. They're going a different plan. Spread the money. This is all about greed. At the end of the day, it's all about greed, and it's something that is not needed in this sport when we're at the tail end of a pandemic that has absolutely kept fans out and ruined a lot of teams. This is just another competition that would ruin a lot of the middle teams that can't even get into this competition. With that said, I vented. Let's get to the first game. Chelsea, Brighton. This game goes today. Chelsea minus 175. The draw is plus 300. Brighton plus 500. The total is 2.25, which is a split line of and 2.5. And I'm going to go to Pavlos first on this one. This is very interesting because Chelsea have just big games coming up. And this is normally in a game like this, I would think you could probably rotate and rest some players, but you can't. You have Leicester, Chelsea, West Ham, and Liverpool separated by 3 points for the final 2 Champions League spots for next season. And not only that, but you have Chelsea, a big game on the weekend at West Ham. And then they've got to go to Spain and play Real Madrid in leg 1 of the semifinals. So you can't really rest players here. Silva could rest, Thiago Silva. Kovacic is out. I just don't know what they can really do here. Give me your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, City, they did a great job. Chelsea, I mean, they did a great job to eliminate City over the weekend. But they've played a lot of matches lately, and fatigue is probably going to be an issue. And with many important matches coming up, Tuchel is going to try to rotate his squad, and I just don't trust Chelsea in this match. Brighton, they've been great on the road this season. They have 5 wins. They grabbed 19 points on the road and only, I think, 14 at home. They have 5 wins on the road and only 2 at home, which goes to show that they're more dangerous on the road than they are at home this season. So another win against Chelsea would make a historical record for Brighton with 6 away wins in an EPL season. However, they've been careless a lot. They're not very careful. They've taken the lead in so many games, but I think they're leading the league in lost points. They've dropped 20 points in matches in which they took the lead, and that's the worst stat in the EPL against along with Tottenham. So again, I don't trust Chelsea a lot in this match. Of course, Tuchel, he's created a defensive juggernaut with Chelsea, but this game really scares me. If I touch this game, I'm gonna go with both teams to score at plus 120 here.
Yeah, it's I get one just because of how Chelsea have played. I think they've kept 14 clean sheets in the 19 games or so that Tuchel has been a part of this team. I'm not sure if who we see in net, whether it's Kepa who played in the FA Cup, or if they go back to Mendy. The thing here, and then I'm going to go to Nick next on this one, is how Brighton approach this game. Because, right now Brighton sit in 16th place, 33 points, 6 points ahead of Fulham, and they're trying to stay. So they're not safe yet as far as the relegation spot goes. And you don't want to take a game off when you've only got about 7 games left in your season. But what is the more important game for this Brighton team? Today versus Chelsea, or on the weekend where they play an already relegated Sheffield United side? Because you've got to look at this Brighton schedule to finish off the season, and it is absolutely brutal for them. They finished their last 5 games of the season. They play Leeds, Wolves, West Ham, Man City, and Arsenal. None of those games are gimmies. They're all against very good sides and all top 10 sides. So you start to wonder, is their focus on Saturday as opposed to today? Because 3 points against Sheffield United is probably going to be enough, puts them at 36. That's probably enough, Nick, to keep them in the Premier League next season.
Brighton, the expected goal darling of the Premier League. They it's a really crazy year they've had. They rank 5th in the league in expected goal differential per game, yet, as you just mentioned, Carmine, they sit 16th in the table, just 6 points clear of relegation. To see how much they've underperformed with their shots this year is just it's bizarre, to say the least. Will it continue? Will it go on? I mean, that's the question you always have to ask. Now, none of that matters. All that really matters is what you actually did score and how the games ended up in terms of the final score. So, to me, I have a little, besides the schedule congestion for Chelsea, what about, I wonder with all the quick backlash to the Super League you were talking about, Carm, you mentioned your feelings on it, but obviously if you're following Twitter or anything, there's all we're being reported or seeing right now is the backlash from fans. Is that a distraction at all of Chelsea? It's obviously hard to say, but we have one sample size game to look at, and that was Liverpool yesterday, and their fans were were pissed off, and of course they ended up drawing with Leeds. Does that mean anything? I don't know, but just another little reason maybe to not take Chelsea here. I don't trust Chelsea in this game. There's just too much going on for them in their full schedule. They need to win. They need to be involved in this game for sure. The one thing that has been consistent and will probably stay consistent here is their defensive side. I mean, since Tuchel took over, they've kept 14 clean sheets in 19 games. I mean, that's insane, including City. As Pavlos mentioned, they just beat 1-0 in the FA Cup this past weekend. So they obviously have the pedigree to keep Brighton off the scoreboard here. But I don't trust them on the road. I don't trust them laying the price that they are right now. Instead, what I would do here is I think this could be a very defensive game, very low scoring. Brighton have proven, even when they get chances, they can't score. Chelsea have proven that they will stop almost anybody when they want to. And if Chelsea's going to struggle a little bit here, it might be more on the offensive side. I don't necessarily see a lapse on the defensive side. So I'm actually going against Pavlos here. I'm thinking you can combo, instead of just taking the under's at 2.25 right now. I'm going to buy that up to 2.5 by combining it with the both teams to score no prop. So both teams to score no and under 2.5 is paying plus 120. Boring ass way to play a game for sure. I'm not going to watch it because I hate watching games like this where I don't want any scores, but I think that's the way I'm going to play this one.
All right, yeah, it does sound just about right. I think this is one of those games, and Kev, I'm going to go to you next, where Brighton literally come to Stamford Bridge to literally park the bus. They're not going there to get into a pressing a game where you try and outscore Chelsea. This is one of those games where they're going to just try and steal something on the counterattack or off a set piece. And with that in mind, and this total at 2.25, I'm thinking something along the lines of Chelsea 1-0 here in all likelihood, and that pays about plus 500, I think, right now. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I like 2-0 actually. That's plus 600. That's the way I was looking at this. But, it's funny that Nick mentions Brighton as the XG champs, because it was actually on Twitter this morning. Wolves, they released the last 5 years of Premier League expected goals points champions. And, it's like Wolves should have been back-to-back Premier League winners and Southampton should have been back in 2015. So they're all kind of congratulating each other off their official Twitter accounts. Congrats for winning the league. So, XG definitely has its limitations because those teams were nowhere near winning. But, look, I watched that FA Cup semi-final at the weekend. Chelsea looked very, very impressive. They were tight at the back. They're always tight at the back, but it was their threat going forward as well, breaking away in spots. And, fatigue is an issue to every team, but they showed how deep they are. Pulisic coming on for Mason Mount, Havertz coming on for Werner. So, they really do look like the finished article right now. As you said at the start, that huge clash is looming at the weekend against West Ham, all London rivalry. But, a win here puts Chelsea firmly in the driver's seat for Champions League football next season. So, maybe that's not what it once was if this Super League takes off. But nonetheless, I don't expect them to take their eyes off the ball in this one. And I just think you have to keep Chelsea on side here. Chelsea minus 3/4 looks decent. Chelsea to win the 0 plus 140 also looks good. And I do expect this to be a fairly tight affair here tonight. But traditionally, Chelsea have traditionally owned Brighton in this spot. They've won all of their last 6 head-to-heads against them in London by a combined 14-0 aggregate scoreline. So Chelsea for me in this one, probably on the 3/4 line.
All right, awesome. And speaking of some of the teams in the EPL, if you actually go to Twitter and you visit the Wolves site right now, they actually have on their tagline, they have official account of Wolverhampton Wanderers, Premier League champions 2018-2019. I guess they're looking at the fact that if you remove all of the Super League teams from the EPL, that they are the champions of 2018-2019. So it's great to see the Twitter accounts jumping in on this whole Super League thing, bias or whatever with it. All right, guys, let's go to a couple more EPL teams. Game number 2, Tottenham, Southampton. Spurs are minus 134. The draw is plus 280. Southampton, I don't have the line on Southampton here. It's blank, but the total is 2.75 in this game. Obviously, when I picked this game, this was well before the news of Mourinho being fired by Spurs. So we always like to talk about whether a team has a sudden uptick in form after a manager is fired. I'm not really sure if that's going to happen here. The one thing with the Spurs, and I think it's one of the reasons why he had to go, they just weren't performing. They dropped seven of their 9 possible points their last 3 games with a couple draws and a loss. With those 7 points, they would be in third right now in a Champions League spot. So something had to be done. I think it was just one of those toxic things there with Mourinho. I think his shtick is gone. So I'm going to go to Nick first on this one. Give me your thoughts on the Spurs, and is this a quick bounce back game for them?
I think so. I mean, I hate Mourinho. I think he's a douchebag. I just don't like him as a manager, and I can't see many players really getting behind the guy. I mean, every press conference you watch him, he's just so quick to, throw any of his guys under the bus just to cover his own ass. And who wants to play for a guy like that? So we always talk about manager changes and the immediate, whether it's short term or long term, but usually an immediate boost to morale and to that side that has the change, especially when it was like a negative situation, which this certainly was. You have to feel that Tottenham will come out here. I mean, on paper, they have the better side anyway, that they're going to come out here with the extra motivation and extra excitement, I guess you want to say, in the clubhouse to pull this win off. I was like, I don't want to overthink this. I don't want to go down and look into numbers and stats. I think this is just purely a surface level play, change of manager, Mourinho's out, excitement on the field for the players. I will mention I'm a little biased because the only future I took in the Premier League was Harry Kane to win the Golden Boot. So I'm hoping he's on the board again here in this match. But ultimately, this is going to be on my card tomorrow. I think the Spurs come out, win this game. It's a pretty short price right now, so I think it's worth the play.
Yeah, and I think I mentioned it on last week's show, or I mentioned it either on Twitter, that one of two things was going to happen in this off season, or had to happen. Either Mourinho leaves, is ousted, or Kane leaves. And I think with Mourinho now gone, if you bring in the right manager, it's their best opportunity to keep Harry Kane in a Spurs uniform. Kev, I'm going to go to you next on this one. Listen, Southampton are safe. I think they're safe right now, but they're struggling to finish off the season. They're just looking to get to the finish line in this EPL season. And when they played this reverse fixture in Hampton, it was one hell of a goal fest. It was 5-2 Spurs. And on top of that, there was 3 goals called back by VAR in that game, slight offsides. We could have seen as much as 10 goals scored in that game. Give me your thoughts on this one. Do we see any scoring in this game? Maybe not in the 5-2 aspect, but enough to get us over this total?
Well, I definitely don't see it being 5-2. No, I do completely agree with Nick in terms of Jose Mourinho, though. He is that. He's a very good tactician, but he has that toxic presence in the dressing room. He would have left, if Mourinho had stayed. And look, I doubt Mourinho cares, because I was reading over his 6 firings, he's walked away with 93 million in terms of golden handshakes. So I don't think he's too disappointed. But it's this kind of, even though there's no new manager, it is this kind of new manager bounce. So I would expect Tottenham to come out. Harry Kane, obviously, very questionable with that ankle injury, unlikely to start. But I don't even see that putting me off Tottenham here, because we're getting greater value on the line. This Tottenham team have been vastly underperformed in my eyes. They have won. I said this in the EPL preview show way back in August, that in my opinion, Tottenham are one of the most talented squads in the league. And now that Mourinho's out of the picture, we may finally see them, play with some abandon here, especially going forward. And on the other side, we have a Southampton team coming off their last chance at winning some silverware this season with that loss to Leicester at the weekend. And with, I do think they are safe. So there's relatively little to play for right now. I think there'll be a huge drop-off in intensity for them. And to be honest, 2021 has been a year to forget for Southampton, worst performing team in the Premier League this season. So, with Kane likely out here, we've got that line value on Spurs, Southampton being absolutely dreadful at the back. Ranking not only as the worst team overall in the entire EPL this calendar year, but they've conceded at least 2 goals in 3 of the last 4 games as well, and have failed to keep a clean sheet on the road against Tottenham in over 20 years. January 2001 being the last time. So I think Tottenham win this game, and moneyline minus 120 looks like a decent price.
Yeah, and that price on Southampton, if you like Southampton, is plus 350. Somehow is omitted in my notes. Pavlos, I'm going to go to you on this one, even with Kane out. What do you think on an exact score price of Tottenham? 3-1 final score, plus 1,400. Of course, I have to give Southampton a goal in this game, because anytime I bet against them, Danny Ings scores and then just smiles at the camera and just pisses me right off. So how about 3-1 Spurs? What do you think?
Yeah, I love it. Historically, these two sides, especially when they meet in this venue, there's a lot of goals. In each of the last 6 matches between the two sides, there have been goals from both sides and over 2.5 goals. So, of course, Tottenham have won the last 5 matches in this venue against Southampton. But I do see goals here. Southampton, they've been terrible on the road. They have conceded multiple goals in 6 of the last 10 matches, including a 5-2 against City, a 9-0 against Manchester United, and a couple of 3-0 losses to West Brom and Leeds. So even without Kane, I think that Tottenham will surely pressure Southampton's defense a lot. But I don't even trust Tottenham's defense right now, or for the entire season, I haven't trusted it. And Southampton, as you said, they can score here. 1, maybe 2 goals, 3-1, 3-2. I like both scores. However, my main bet for this match is both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. The combination goes for plus 104 at DraftKings, and I really like that at plus money.
All right. Sounds good, Pavlos. Okay, guys, it is $2 Tuesday at WagerTalk and Sports Memo. The $2 Tuesday feature is you can get a handicapper, one of the hottest handicappers at both sites for only $2. There are plays that normally sell for $29 or $40. The $2 capper today at WagerTalk.com is none other than our own Kevin Dolan. He has a best bet tonight in the NBA. You can get that play for only $2. Head over there, and then within that play in the analysis section, there are some other fantastic promos that you can take advantage of for longer term packages. So head over there, and you can head over to sportsmemo.com as well too, and pick up the feature capper there's play for only $2. All right, guys, let's head into the third game, and then I'm going to quickly mention a Euro contest that I will be putting out for our followers here and on Twitter with some great prizes. The third game we're going to talk about, and this one goes today, German Bundesliga, Bayern Munich, Bayern Leverkusen. Right now, Munich minus 250 at home, plus 400 on the draw. Bayer Leverkusen plus 600. The total is a very high, but understandably high, 3.5. Like, this season is just about done. 5 games left in the Bundesliga. Bayern Munich is 7 points up. So they're pretty much coasting to the finish line. We know Lewandowski and Gnabry are out for this one, but they have been out for the last few games, and this team is still finding their scoring. Kev, I'm going to go to you first on this one. Leverkusen, they're still within striking distance of one of those top 4 spots, but they would need the last 5 games to go absolutely their way. Probably would have to win out and hope for some miracles along the way to get into a top 4 spot and a Champions League spot. What do you think about today's game?
This has to be one of the most intriguing games of the entire midweek slate to me, as we just don't know what we're going to get from Bayern here tonight. Traditionally Bayern have been so strong in these types of roles, coming off a loss. They've lost to Leverkusen just twice over the last 13 head-to-heads across all competitions as well. They have a combined 31-16 aggregate scoreline over that stretch also. So I certainly wouldn't be in a rush to back against Bayern here, but neither am I in any great hurry to jump on them with everything going on at the club right now. The league is effectively wrapped up, as you said, little to play for in that regard. They come off that morale boost and lost to PSG last week in the Champions League also. And, let's face it, Bayern's only meaningful trophy every season pretty much is the Champions League. I'm sure after winning 50-plus Bundesligas and DFB Pokals, the shine starts to come off that somewhat. So it'll be no doubt extremely disappointing for Bayern to have been knocked out at this stage of the competition. On top of all that, we now have the whole drama over Hansi Flick's intention to leave the club in the summer after disagreements with the board. So it's a real minefield of a game right now as to how Bayern approach this. I don't know how you could say with any great degree of confidence that Bayern are the play here. Bayer Leverkusen have plenty to play for, as you said, on the opposite side, and will no doubt want to keep that pressure on Dortmund for the automatic Europa League spot next season, and should give a good account of themselves here. It is possible, though, that there has been all that media frenzy going on around Hansi Flick's quotes. Perhaps he comes out here, quiet all that down. by putting on a clinical display here tonight against Leverkusen and covering the spread by 2 more goals. So I'm going to swerve the side completely because Bayern are capable of doing that. The under 3.5 is cashed in 7 of the last 9 head-to-heads between these two when Bayern are at home. And Leverkusen haven't scored past the 20th minute in any away league defeat since February 2019. So they could really struggle here up top. With Bayern's injuries and all that media frenzy, as we said, surrounding Flick's announcement, coupled with Bayer Leverkusen's poor showing in front of goal and crunch away games, I think you have to look under here tonight in a spot where both teams probably see a low-scoring draw as a decent result. So under 3.5 for me.
All right. Pavlos, thoughts on this game? And Kev makes some very good points there. Let me tell you what I think is this is a stretch as far as the coaching goes, managing. We already know Hansi Flick is leaving. The talk is, I'm not sure if it's confirmed yet, that he's going to take over the German national team. So that spot is vacant. That spot could easily be filled by Red Bull Leipzig's Julian Nagelsmann, a sought-after coach. He could easily move over there, leaving that Red Bull spot completely open for the one and only Jurgen Klopp to leave Liverpool if they don't make Champions League this year and head over back to Germany and take over another squad that will be in Champions League next year. So there's my take on the merry-go-round that is the managerial jobs in Bundesliga. Give me your thoughts on this game now.
Yeah, Bayern's defense has been struggling a lot this season. Of course, their offense is top-notch with 83 goals. However, their defense has been rather bad, given their own standards. At home, they have 10 wins and 4 draws, no losses. However, 11 of those matches had goals from both sides, and 12 of those matches had over 2.5 goals. Now, if you look historically between the two teams, each of the last 9 matches between Bayer Leverkusen and Bayern Munich, regardless of venue, have had goals from both sides and at least over 2.5 goals. Out of those 9 matches, 7 had over 3.5 goals, with goals from both sides. So I know that Bayern Munich, they're missing 2 key players up front. I know there's a lot of turmoil with the coach and the owners of the team. I'm not so sure if Bayern are going to win this. Maybe they'll lose this one and just keep the season hanging in the balance. I'm not so sure that they'll miss the title anyway because they have such an easy schedule to finish the season. However, I have 3 thoughts for this match. The first one is Bayern to win and over 2.5 goals, minus 126 at FanDuel. The over 3.5 goals at minus 104. However, I think my best bet for this match is both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. The price is not so great, minus 150 at DraftKings, but I really look at how the teams do historically, and I just can't ignore the fact that each of the last 9 matches between the two have had goals from both sides and over 2.5 goals. So that's where I go today.
All right, Nick, I'm going to go to you with some final thoughts on this game before we move to the 4th game, but I'm not worried about the Bayern scoring, to be honest with you. They have Kevin's star of the future leading the attack at Bayern, Choupo-Moting. I'm sure he's good for 1 or 2 today. Give me your thoughts on this game. Did we lose Nick's audio?
Yep, sounds like it.
Sorry, I think my microphone was off. Sorry, I was going to say I really love this game enough to say I have a 5% play loaded for this match. So I don't have a lot I'm going to add here, but make sure to head over to my page there to check this out. If you're hopefully we can get a winner here. I will add though, I am looking at a couple goal scores. On the Leverkusen side, because on the Bayern side, all the guys are kind of low price. But if anybody's going to get on the board for Leverkusen here, it's most likely either going to be Bailey or Schick. You can get Bailey plus 350 or Schick plus 275, both to score anytime. So I personally took a little action on both of those. And if either one are on the board, then obviously we net a nice little return. So I think one of those guys could get on the board here in this game.
All right. I like that. Nick, as he mentioned, has a 5% play up on this game. I am going to give you guys a coupon to get $15 off the regular price on that. Use the promo code Nick15, Nick15, and you'll get $15 off of Nick's 5% play today. Take advantage of that one. Guys, before we head to the last game, which is the game being played tomorrow, Dortmund and Union Berlin. This summer, as we know, it's the Euro 2020s. Yes, we're in 2021, but the 2020 Euros were obviously canceled last year due to this pandemic, but will be played starting June 11th to July 11th. I'm going to have a couple different contests up. One that's available to absolutely everybody, and you can win some soccer, football paraphernalia, some jerseys. I'll get them from my some national team jerseys from my favorite sports supplier here up north, who has furnished me with a whole bunch of stuff. And then I'm going to have a contest for some of our long-term clients. I have a couple jerseys that are being framed. These are special jerseys. Obviously, I have a 2005, 2006 Cristiano Ronaldo Manchester United jersey that I won at an auction for a kids charity. It's autographed by Cristiano. That'll be framed. I also have a Juventus Cristiano Ronaldo autographed jersey as well too, which will be framed. I'm going to be giving those away in this contest to the winners. That contest again is for our long-term clients. I'm not trying to keep everybody away from our contest, but there are two. You don't need to buy anything to get into the first one. You can still win a ton of good stuff. The second one is to show my appreciation. I'm paying for this, nobody else, to show my appreciation to the guys who have supported us over the years. All right, finally, let's get to, so follow me on Twitter, Carmine Bianco WT for more information. Dortmund and Union Berlin. Dortmund minus 200, the draw's plus 333. Union Berlin plus 500, the total is 3.0. Pavlos, I'm going to go to you first on this one. It looked like Dortmund were pretty much done a couple of weeks ago as far as a top four spot and a Champions League spot. And now a couple wins and a couple losses from teams ahead of them has them right back in at 4 points. They play Wolfsburg on the weekend, which is a huge one, but they need 3 points here. What are your thoughts on this game?
Hey, I'm not so sure if they're gonna get them. I really love Dortmund lately. They've been great, at least on the offensive end. They scored 7 goals in their last 2 matches. However, it's their defense that is really horrible this season. They've kept just 1 clean sheet in their last 9 matches in all competitions, and they conceded multiple goals in 7 of their last 9 matches, which is really worrisome. Union Berlin, they're coming off a home win by 2-1. And they've been great offensively, at least. Both teams scored in 6 of their last 7 matches. Of course, they conceded a lot, but they did score in 6 of their last 7 matches. So they've been bad on the road lately with just 2 wins in the last 8 away matches in 2020. And they actually beat Dortmund in the reverse fixture by 2-1 at home. So, and looking at the recent history between these two teams, in 5 competitive matches, Union Berlin have 2 wins, only 1 loss to Dortmund, and 2 draws. So this is a tricky match in my perspective. I think that Union Berlin, who are, by the way, are sitting 8th in the standings with 43 points, and they're actually chasing a top 5 or top 6 finish. I wouldn't be surprised if they scored here. So I'm taking both teams to score at minus 130 here.
Both teams score minus 130. I like this one. Nick, I'm going to go to you next on this one. There's not much history with these two teams. Union won the reverse fixture at home. I think it was 2-1. And they still have the slightest of hopes of making it into Europa League. Again, they're going to need a lot of stuff to go their way, but with 5 games left in the season, this is definitely not like a toss-away game for them. They're not running out the string here. They're coming to play today or tomorrow.
Yeah, I agree with Pavlos 100% of both teams to score. I mean, Dortmund 19-10, both teams to score record, and Union Berlin have a 20-9, both teams to score record. In 5 all-time meetings between the two, 4 of them have had both teams to score. So I like that side. What I'm going to do here is combine that with Dortmund, and you're getting a 2-to-1 return on your money. So Dortmund to win plus both teams to score is paying plus 200. I see plus 210 as high as that as well. It's a revenge angle for Dortmund. They're playing well. The reason I don't want to just take Dortmund by themselves is I don't see a lot of value in the -1 goal line. Union Berlin are a tough team. They only have 6 losses, actually, believe it or not, on the season. Dortmund has 10, just to put that in perspective. So they're a tough team to beat. But Dortmund, on paper, definitely the better team. Haaland back on the score sheet after a 4-game drought. He scored 2 this past weekend against Bremen. So I like him to carry that over. As we know, he gets very streaky. He can score in bunches, of course. You could also just go both teams to score plus over 2.5 goals. Then you don't really have to worry about the side. But that's a smaller price. That's only paying about plus 110. Either of those are good, but I really like the 2-to-1 return on Dortmund plus both teams to score.
All right, awesome. We will finish off this game with Kevin Dolan, and then I will close up the show. Kev, give me your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, I just completely agree with the fellas. I seen over 2.75 going off at around -1.25, so or -125. So I like that. I also like that both teams to score. You know, Union shipped 5 goals to Dortmund the last time these two teams squared off at this venue, and Dortmund have won 3 of the last 4 home league games by at least a 2-goal margin. So there is likely going to be goals in this one. So yeah, both teams to score over 2.75, like both of those.
Awesome. Guys, 4 big games. We're going to be back on Thursday where we're going to cover some games that go Thursday, Friday, and on the weekend in domestic leagues. Do not forget, it is $2 Tuesday at WagerTalk and Sports Memo. You can get a featured capper for only $2. Kevin Dolan, one of our co-hosts here, is the $2 capper at WagerTalk. He has an NBA best bet. Also at Sports Memo, Top Flight Sports with a best bet in MLB. He's been killing it there as well, too. You can get those for $2. Of course, Nick Borrman has a 5% play going today. You still have time to pick it up. Use that code NICK15. He comes off a big 5% win last night. The man is rolling. Grab this play and then sit back, relax, watch the game, enjoy it. And again, guys, listen, we really appreciate you guys tuning in. Hang around, top of the hour, the highly rated Puck Time show. This is one of the best shows on, aside from this one here, on WagerTalk TV, award-winning show hosted by Andrew McInnes. And today's guest is none other than the Prez. And any show with the Prez is always an entertaining one. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you Thursday, 10 a.m.
With a WagerTalk one-day Power Pass, you receive every play from every betting consultant for one full day at the ridiculously discounted price of just $149. What's better than spending the day watching and following a great slate of games? Watching, following, and winning those games. Get every WagerTalk expert and every game they release for that day.